What do I need to tell you? My name is Bruce. You already know that. Bruce McNeese.
How old are you, Bruce?
I'm 60. No, I'm 72.
Where we located at right now, Bruce?
It's at 40th Street.
Where we at though? What city?
608 East St. Louis.
Okay, tell us about how you grew up, bro.
Okay, I grew up on this street. You know my house down here on the corner? 756.
Okay.
What I'm ashamed of is that I built a house down the street and then wind up moving in this raggedy house. It's not raggedy, but you know.
Let's rewind though. How was your upbringing? How did you grow up? What schools did you go to?
Okay, I went to Clark, and I went to Eastside.
Did you graduate?
I graduated.
Okay. What you do after high school?
I went to penitentiary.
Now tell us about that. What happened?
Okay, I started buying food stamps, and in the buying of it, my brother-in-law, he bought that store right there. Was the Sheba's?
Yeah.
Okay, he went to the penitentiary. I went to the penitentiary. The judge gave us 15 years to divide between 5 of us. And so I got 3 of them. I went to Marion. And I stayed there for 3 years. And I got out and was on probation. And I said, well, I done did my time, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. And they wind up coming back, picking me up again. You know.
What'd they pick you up again for?
For a violation of probation.
What was you doing?
Buying food stamps.
What was the big deal with the food stamps back then? Like, tell us, the people who, because you got to understand, food stamps don't exist no more. So tell the people, educate the people on the food stamp situation, and why was it a big deal to buy them under the table in the black market?
Well, after they charged me for it, they got me for conspiracy, a racketeering. They hit me for, they saying I turned to a gangster almost, what they want to say. But they took me back to I told them to their face, I said, I done did my time. You know, why should I have to go through the hassle with y'all? That was the law. And they took me from 23rd Street, right next door to Mr. Roosevelt Brown. You know, and it was like when I moved over here, you understand, this was a temporary situation, and I started selling crack cocaine. Okay, and in the selling of the crack cocaine, that's what sent me back to the pen. You know, I've been through that.
What got you into selling crack? What was the situation with that, where that started?
I was working at the coal mine. I kept getting laid off, and so I said, I got to do something to make some money. And the next thing I knew, I was arrested for selling crack cocaine. I ain't gonna say I'm ashamed of it. I was living. You moving, you know that, don't you? Okay. But anyway, it's not a job that, that you can call a job. But, you understand, it was a survival situation. And worked up at, what's the name of the place up there? The Elite. Stafford. Went there and became a little foreman, making money doing that. It's been a rough, kind of rough life, And my wife died. Now, she didn't die. My second wife died. Beverly didn't die. But it's a situation where they say I was bringing too much traffic to this address. They started doing what you just said. They talked too much. They broke out my my window. They was doing that kind of thing.
They was getting in your business.
Yeah, and letting other people know what was going on. So I agreed to go on and move out. You understand? And, me and the landlord, we're under good terms.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm doing, what I was doing, I couldn't keep doing that without them. The feds came out and arrested me. So I've been through this myself. That's my neighbor right there in the black coat. Now he said I was a pimp.
He said that?
Yeah, he put it out there. I was a pimp.
Who he tell you was a pimp?
He told everybody.
How did you find out?
They told me. They said Anthony said you was a pimp. I say, well, you can say what you want, but I'm just being myself. And if I had to do it again, I would still do it.
Let's rewind it just a little bit. How was it growing up in your household, mom and dad? What was that like? What was your upbringing like in the beginning?
In the beginning,
yes.
I was doing fine until they passed.
No, but how were they raising you up until that point? How were you raised?
Church every day.
Yes.
Not just now, every now and then. I went 7 days a week to church. And I enjoy it, and I still do enjoy it. But that's what sent me to the pen. But it did me some justice because I started writing music, but I wrote some songs. One of them was called Let the Pipe Cool. And I told in the middle I told the story of how if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, it's time to change, You
remember the lyrics to that?
It goes just like this. If you said, okay, everybody in the penitentiary was saying how many women they had, how many houses they had, how many cars they had, how many women they had. I had the same thing. You remember the house down here where I had Cadillacs.
Yes.
I had 2 Cadillacs, a new Maximum. I did it all, And
how much did it cost to get the house built?
40-something thousand.
What year was that?
That was in I'll say 89.
That was good for a black man.
You're right, but not to them because it was he said that I took money from the from the not the children, but from the government. They charged me, now listen to this, $400,000. They considered me a gangster. I went to pen for that. You understand?
What was the experience like in the pen?
Oh, it was beautiful. Believe it or not, I enjoyed it. Because I got to tell a story. When your conversation, this is the way the lyrics went. When your conversation remains the same, talking about that thing that changed your name, change the subject. Don't be a fool. You got to let the pipe cool. Your gas is off. Your gas is off. Your lights is off, and your wife have left with someone else. You need to change and let the pipe cool. Now, when I say let the pipe cool, you know what I mean, don't you? Okay. You've never used drugs, right?
What got you into? What was your introduction into drugs and alcohol or whatever you were into? What was the first time?
Can I say what I want to say? Okay, this is what happened. I had one woman giving me head, and she said, "Let me bring another woman with me."
What year was this?
This was in 92.
Okay.
And I started having 2 women at the same time.
Menage a trois.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then my wife, she heard about it, and she started running off my customers, and to the point where me and her had to part company. Yeah.
Who told her about it?
Who told her about it?
Who told your wife about the menage a
She
trois?
caught me getting my dick sucked. Ooh, God.
How did that happen, man?
She came home from work.
You were doing it at the house.
She was at Monsanto. I let this girl give me some head, and I went to sleep while she was giving me head. And she went to sleep. So when I looked up, my wife was standing over me and her. So the moral of this story of don't let that rule you, you know what I'm saying? But if I had to do it over again, I'd do it. I would, cause you know how when this is back when the stamps was not like I got a food stamp card in my pocket right now.
It wasn't a link card.
It
was
wasn't
actually paper, like Monopoly money.
Right.
That's what I wanted you to explain to the people. Like, why were you buying them? Like, what was the big deal on that, buying them under the table as opposed to getting them the right way?
Okay, let me tell you
Explain
exactly
that for us.
How it went. They told me, say, you go on and get you some stamps, and you know, we'll let you. But they considered me, you know, doing what you call you know, I was like conspiracy. What happened was I was working at the coal mine, at Monterey Coal.
How long did you work there?
I worked there for 8 years.
Okay.
And then in the meantime, they kept laying me off, but they called me back. And so after a while, I couldn't take being laid off, and my wife had a good, promising job at Monsanto, you know. And your should I say this? Your mother and them used to laugh at me and ask me did I want to buy some stamps, you know, because they knew I had went to the pen for doing that. But, you know, it still wasn't legal. So when I started, you know that blue store out there by Eastside, they done tore it down now. They said, you know, he say in that shoebox right there, it's got about $3,000 or $4,000 in it. People would come by and say, Bruce, I need to pay my water bill, my lights bill, my gas bill. And so I would give them, okay, if they give me $60 worth, I give them $100, you know. So I did that till they caught me. But he put me in the business by saying, you run in the store, so if they come in and they need, he was already doing it. When I looked up, it was 8 state, I mean not state, but federal marshals came out, and they say, Mr. McNeil say, we have a warrant for your arrest. I say, for what? I say, I don't give a damn about that. But they came out and they asked me, did I want to talk about it? I said, hell no. They came back with 12 of them. They took my ass to jail. They
wanted you to cooperate.
Yeah.
Why didn't you cooperate?
Because it's against the law. It's against the law to do that. And it's easier, you know, to do. Because I've been selling weed all my life. You understand? But that's how I got involved in the food stamps. But when I got ready to go, I met R. Kelly.
How was that?
I met, it was fine, but it was before he got in trouble with the girl. He told me, he said, man, your songs are good enough to put on wax. But I knew he would take them, you know, from me, so I wouldn't give him the lyrics like I'm sitting here now giving them to you. But Let the Pipe Cool was one of the better ones that they liked. And so, you know, I wouldn't trade it if I had a chance. I wouldn't I wouldn't take back what I've been doing. Writing this song, not writing this music. This is what supported me through my endeavor in jail. They said me and my wife had some problems, and I wrote them some lyrics to send to their wives. Man, this was so different. I wouldn't trade it if I had the chance. I'm always do that. A songwriter. This building do not have adequate heat or cooling or none of that. And he'll hire anybody to work on that building, try to save money, but it takes them a long time to get it done. So we sitting in there cold trying to survive. I said, man, I got to get up out of here.
How long you been dealing with that?
Oh man, since let's say '89. They say you done been through this with people. You understand dealing with them, but what you did was not legal. You was taking money. That's what the judge said too. You're taking from the government. They charged me with $420,000. That's how much money they say I stole from the government. I've been through hell. Then me and my wife separated. My second wife, then she died. So I done been up and down. The guy that was working here on this building, I was helping him. Well, I was working in the yard and saw that he cut his dick. They cut his dick off. I held him down and tried to stop the bleeding. They say, you're doing fine, but they sent the ambulance, but he still died.
Wait a minute, what happened with that? Like, how did that happen?
He was smoking crack.
Okay.
And so he went so far with it till he got lazy. And he didn't want to get up, so he took a board and tried to cut it without setting it up on the proper stages of cutting it. And he cut himself almost in half. I sit there and held him as much as I could. And he was looking up at the sky. The next thing I know, his eyes closed. He died right there in the backyard. I fell coming down the steps, but I never got paid. And he fell after me, but he got paid. So the guy that's owned this place, he knew that I was gonna sue him, so he told me, say, well, you need to go on and move if you're gonna file charges. I'm gonna file charges. I didn't come up in here to lose, you know what I'm saying? And he was bringing women in at night. He would stand at these different doors, and he would give them, you understand, a sample of what he had, and then this is back when Jake, before he died. Yeah.
So there was a lot of funny business attached to this.
Right.
And you still attached to it.
Right. But I prayed to the Lord today. I said, Lord, help me to get away from that, because it's not profitable, and plus it's against your word. So I never got married again. I just stayed here, and they started trying to make this the spot. They would bring a woman over here and say, how much you charge to let me enjoy sex with this proper girl, man, the proper. I say, you give me $40.
So you turned it into a hotel.
I turned into
You hustling.
How do you know these things?
I'm listening to you.
I
You
mean,
just told me the situation, and I just put two and two together.
Now, let me ask you a question. Would you have done it?
Under the circumstances, you can't say what you will and won't do.
Right.
If the right circumstances present themselves and you're already being mistreated,
Yes.
you don't have any. Hey, it's no
Nowhere
other
to go
recourse.
but that.
Hey, and that situation fell in your lap,
Yeah,
literally.
it sure did. It sure did. That's exactly what happened. It fell in my lap.
Yes.
And I wouldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, look, Bruce, I'm working every day and you're working.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you still, letting them come over here and do this? She couldn't stand it either, but it was a way of life, Now, I was selling weed on 23rd Street. They come by there and my father would catch me before he died. And I would be out there selling quarter pounds of weed. And so he said, Bruce, you're not selling dope out of my house, are you? I said, no, Dad. Lied to him, of course. So I did what I had to do to survive. I did what I had to do. So now I found me another spot. But in the meantime, I'm just moving out of here today or tomorrow. Matter of fact, this morning they took a load out of here. I never liked apartments, no way. I'm used to that house down there that I built. For $50,000. So that's why I say I would do it again if I had a chance. I would do it again.
You wouldn't take nothing back.
No
regrets.
No regrets.
Lived a good, beautiful life, a long, strong life, and you still standing.
Right. And you know what? It got so good, they asked me when I got ready to be released, can I stay a little longer and finish some of the songs with them and this and that. I said, man, is you crazy? I'm not staying up in no penitentiary for that. You understand? But they come around me anyway now because they like what we was doing in there. Do you have a tape player in this truck? No, okay. I was finna say, I can let you hear it. They put me with some of the best musicians from all over the world. We came together and I got so good with them, they were sending us to different churches every Sunday. But of course they sent the feds with us, the federal marshals, with us. What's up, Anthony? You all right? See, that's what we could have did, just walked in there, but it's not accurately like it should be. Where did you get this truck?
So in closing, or we're going to wrap it up real fast.
Okay.
If you want to say anything to anybody that might be looking for you, missing you, wondering if you're okay, wondering if you're all right, wondering if you're still alive, now's the time to say whatever you need to say in closing.
They put me away over here. They didn't put me away, but they gave me a place to come at night and go to sleep. But I still bring women over here and was having sex with them.
That ain't gonna stop.
That ain't gonna stop.
How old are you?
I'm 72.
So that don't stop.
That don't stop.
Okay. So for everybody thinking that it stopped, it at 72 it don't stop.
It still don't stop. It still don't stop.
So everybody can know that you all right and you still doing what you do, and that's that.
Right. And let them know too, if I had a chance to do it over again, I would do it. Okay. Because I wasn't killing nobody. It wasn't like I was that kind of a gangster. But I was selling women.
So you was pimping.
It was
Maybe allegedly. Allegedly.
No, I was.
Okay.
I was selling women. And, you know, they come around and she say, you know anybody out there may want to spend? Hell yeah. Oh, let me tell you this part. These guys from where I was working at the coal mine, they would get paid and they would come home with me, and I'd have them set up and get some pussy from you know, for them two would match up, and they would pay me for doing it. So it was all right. It was your kind of thing. You would, maybe I don't want to say that. You know.
Right.
Now, how did you get into the reporter part?
Man, I'm just trying to cover interesting stories with interesting people that know the city from how it used to be to how it is now.
Yeah.
And if I can ask you that, what's your take on growing up in the city and the state it's in now? Like, what's the differences in the two? From how you grew up to right now, how would you say the differences is?
The difference is there was no AIDS then. It wasn't as popular. But it is now, so it's not something that you want to be. Even if, you know, if I'm bringing you a woman and you have, I'm still suggesting that you protect yourself. You know, don't just go in because I said but I made sure they was all checked out. You know. You make sure they got tested. Okay. And like you said, one of our favorite words was sweeter.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
The younger the girl was, the better. We used to sit back, you remember, and watch them working and say, sweeter. You know, that meant young thing was always better.
So those were the ones that you supplied?
Yes. They liked to be
And they
young.
got all that coal mining money.
Right. You know.
Because they got older wives at home.
Right.
Gotcha.
And they'll carry it to them. Matter of fact, let me tell you this. This I don't know whether you're gonna think this makes sense. The majority of the men that call it was that their wives would catch it because they wasn't protected, because they wasn't aware that these girls. I was just talking to one of the guys in there now. This girl, she's in my house now. She caught what you call that? It was AIDS, and she was spreading it to some of the workers that I had. I've been through so much, you know. I feel like I should have been writing it down myself, you know. But you know, I still don't suggest that you have sex with one of these girls and go home and screw your. Have you got married? You think you will?
If the opportunity and the circumstances and everything lines up, you know, it got to line up. Everything needs to be right. Not everything, but just comfortable.
Right.
Not I won't rule out anything.
Right.
You know, because you can never say never. So I never say never. But at the same time, you know, growing up and understanding life, everything has twists and turns and changes to it, to the point where, man, you don't know really where you're gonna be from day to day sometimes.
Right.
Like when your head's spinning too much. So you got to stop your head from spinning.
Right.
To focus on what you need to focus on.
And one more thing, you can't trust these hoes. These hoes are still. They gave me like phones. They give me bus passes and different things. If I lay it down anywhere, they steal it. You know what I'm saying? I be wanting to kill one of them for stealing.
So why keep them around if you can't trust them?
Because I make money off of them.
Okay, but you lose money too.
Right.
So it counterbalances out.
It balances itself out.
So
didn't I help you get on at Elite?
I was already out there before you. I was at the other building a long time ago before they switched over to that other building.
Oh yeah.
So in closing, just say Man, say what you want to say in closing, and we can wrap it on up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's called survival. You know, you went to the pen, right? See, you did what you had to do to try to make it,
Mm-hmm.
And I always looked at your family as kind of wealthy,
Mm-hmm.
But you want your own,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand that.
You got to find your way out here.
Right.
And you got to bump your head.
You got to do that.
So if you don't, you're going to still be searching. So you got to go through things to understand, I don't want to go through things. And certain things don't feel good.
It sure don't.
So, not being able to do what you want to do don't feel good.
It sure don't.
So for the most part, it's just understanding, man, what you can and can't do. And if you do choose to do something, be smart about it.
Uh-huh. Now, I'm a freak for sexual gratification orally.
Okay.
So, and then if I find out that you done went in one of my customers' pockets or stole their money, you out the group. You know what I'm saying? Bruce, I ain't gonna do it no more. No, you ain't gonna do it no more because you ain't gonna be with me. That was my, yeah.
So in closing, that's what you got. And if you want to say bye to everybody, say bye, and we'll wrap it on up.
I want to say hi to everybody because it's not over for me. It's just, my wife that was staying here with me, you understand, they got her for murder, man. She killed a guy, hit him with an iron that you iron clothes with, hit him in his chest. I talked to him yesterday on the bus line, and he said they offered her 30 years. I say, Lord have mercy, she took 30 years, and she was very smart girl. But he died after an endeavor with him and hit him in the what she say he tried to rape her, but why would you have to rape somebody that's giving up the pussy anyway? She had a nice body on her, but that ain't no reason for him to attack her.
Right.
I started studying with Jehovah's Witnesses, and they start dying. I say, what is this? It was like the devil was attacking me. I had one that used to come over to my house and study, and he was in a head-on collision. The second one used to come over. I used to catch him on Bunkum Road, and we would have studies on the Bible. He died, and last week another one died. It's been that's my landlord right there. Dirty bastard. He ain't dirty. He told me, Bruce, I like you as a customer, but it's too many women coming around. Didn't you all think that I was selling weed back then on 23rd?
I didn't know.
You didn't know nothing about that?
Nah, man, I'm minding my own business.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get into people's business. So whatever you had going on, that's what you had going on.
Well, I've had a band all my life, so.
See, I knew about the singing.
And so
that's what I knew about.
Right.
Yes.
I would go and they would pay me to play for them, and I'm the leader, so I was running, and the judge said I could see it if you had no income, but I heard you was popular with your music, so why are you still selling drugs and stuff and buying food stamps? That didn't take care of it. I had went and got the kind of life that it took a lot of money. I had a brand new Maxima and a brand new Cadillac, and do you know what an Aztec is?
Yes.
I had one of them cars that the doors open like this, and I saw it brought attention. I should have settled for just a regular, vehicle where they wouldn't have been noticing me. But I end up, you understand, over here at that place, they don't bother my private business, I can come in. I got to be in at like say maybe 10 o'clock to keep me off the streets. But it's better than being on the streets. I've got some people that has invited me to I can come over there and pay rent. So that's what I'm working on now.
Okay.
You know. But it's good seeing you.
Hey, it's good seeing you.
It really.
And I appreciate you sitting down with us and talking, and this ain't gonna be the last time either. So I want you to understand that, like, I'll catch up with you at a later date and time. We can sit down and talk about some other stuff.
Okay.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Now, let me ask you one question. Did you see that red van that spoke to me before I got in the truck with you? The dark skin. He's a preacher, a minister.
Okay.
He was to study the Bible with me, and then I found out he got his son's wife or girlfriend. He got her pregnant.
Okay.
It kind of broke up the family. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting on that lot right now. So I see it coming where he could be facing some time behind that. You know, he's a nice guy. But it is what it is.
Yes, and I appreciate you, Bruce. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.